Welcome to Arlene's Journey playlist. This is simply an opportunity to watch somebody know nothing about crypto, jump in their first week. Let's see what they're learning, how long it takes them to learn, and really how to get engaged, how to take those steps step by step. And we're going to document everything that Arlene does so that you have an opportunity to go out and copy this same information, copy these same steps. If you're somebody who needs a little bit of a hand holding, or you're somebody who just wants to see every single detail, this playlist is going to be for you. And so we're going to each week try to put out a little bit more about what Arlene has learned that week and really what it's like to start from zero and become a crypto hero. So join us on this journey where it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go. All right, Arlene. So talk to me a little bit about your journey so far.
Yeah, well, hi, Brian. I've been introduced to the cryptocurrency last week. I started watching a couple of videos about it,
Okay.
probably around 5 to 10 videos. And it's kind of surprising that there are actually a lot of cryptocurrencies out there. From what I've heard of from my past experience, friends and families, I've only heard of one actually, and that's Bitcoin. I haven't really paid attention to it before, but then it's really encouraging and interesting when I watch those videos about that. And a couple of other interesting things are there are other cryptocurrencies that are actually I think is it's like a sleeping giant. So we have Ethereum, ADA, and all that, um, and the computational algorithm that I've watched about um, the how the security level of these cryptocurrencies are really amazing. So there was one time that my bank account was hacked here in the Philippines, and that really is crazy. So when I watched how the computational algorithm of cryptocurrencies are, it's really amazing, and it's very complicated. I don't even understand how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find it almost impossible to hack. So
Yeah, and this is one of the things that crypto fixes, right? Is it brings a security level that banks do have. A lot of banks do have, especially in the U.S. There's certain regulation that you have to have a certain level of security, but things are hacked all the time, right? And kind of the concept behind the cryptography layer of cryptocurrency is this extra added layer of security that's really supposed to make it kind of complicated for you to go out and hack it. And then obviously crypto as a network, right? So if you think about Bitcoin, for example, Bitcoin as a network, you would have to go and since it's decentralized, right? A bank is centralized. There's one place you have to hack. And if you can hack that one place, you have access to everything. But with crypto, it's decentralized, meaning that if you really want to hack it, you have to actually go to every computer, 51% or so of all the computers that are supporting and mining Bitcoin to be able to take control of that, right? So it makes it rather complicated. And so I know a lot of brand new people who are watching this are like, hold on a second, she said computational algorithm, and this is probably not for me. The reality is this: there's a big math problem happening in the background. You don't need to know how it works, just like you don't exactly know how your internet works, right? You're not quite sure, but you know that when you want the internet to turn on, it's on, right? And somebody
right.
somewhere else is taking care of that. And so, what I want to do really today, Arlene, is one, last week we started talking about, hey, here's some basics, right? And like you said, you looked up some videos that kind of got your journey going, and it just introduced a ton of stuff to you. Some of it made sense, some of it you're like, I don't know, but that is part of the journey, right? It's embracing this learning curve and embracing this idea that I don't really know it yet, but I got to go figure it out. Just like 25 years ago when you're trying to figure out the internet, you're having to be like, well, so what is this and what is that a with this the circle around it and all these different little steps, right? Similar kind of journey, except this one's going to make you some money and really help to build your wealth and protect your money as well. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And really the first thing I probably want to address is just really talking about the types of cryptocurrency. First of all, there's Bitcoin. Like you said, that's the one a lot of people know about. It's been around the longest, and it's one of the original ones, right? There's a whole white paper on it that actually walks through what it is, how it works, all this kind of stuff. And we'll put a link to that in the description of this video as well, in case anybody wants to go check that out. But what a lot of people don't know is before Bitcoin, which was in 2008, 2009 timeframe, before that, there had already been several different, I'll say, companies that have tried to create a peer-to-peer cashless system, meaning that I can send you money, you can send me money. We don't need anybody's approval. We just need to agree on it. But we have to find a way to have some checks and balances so that I don't send you money and then you don't send me the goods or anything like that, right? How does that layer work, and how do we solve that problem? This is what a cryptocurrency, a lot of it really is solving. It allows you and me to transact business, exchange funds, do whatever we want without the oversight of anybody else, right? I don't need a bank's permission to send you any money. And that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of the first part of the conversation, but that's Bitcoin, right? And it's been around the longest. But then there's pretty much everything else, thousands and thousands. I think there's over 8,000 now. They're popping up all the time, so I'd have to go and check. But when I started doing this in 2017, there weren't 8,000. There's been that many more that have been started since. And so we've got all these other ones, and these are alternatives to Bitcoin. And so they're called altcoins. And so collectively, you could think of it as there's Bitcoin and there's pretty much everything else, which is altcoins. And each altcoin has its own utility or purpose, or it solves a real world problem. It's not that one is better than the other necessarily. Again, a lot of them are silly. A lot of them are junk. A lot of them are schemes, but the reality is there's a handful of them that will actually be around for a very, very long time. And as your journey progresses, you'll really learn about this. And like you said, some of them are even sleeping giants, meaning that like it's a really great company, but it really hasn't taken off yet, but it is the foundational layer of the next financial system or the next internet or the next whatever problem it's going to solve. Now that you have a little bit of a better understanding, we're going to help you take some action right away and help you get started going ahead and getting some cryptocurrency. And so we're going to take it one step at a time. All right, so this is Coinbase. Coinbase is simply an exchange in which you can exchange your dollars for a cryptocurrency, for example, right? And just like you would go and change at the stock exchange, in New York or in London or in Singapore or whatever, you go and you trade your dollars in for that stock. Well, in this case, you're trading your dollars into a cryptocurrency, right? And this exchange allows you to do this. And what's kind of neat is, oh, and I just realized this, get $5 in free Bitcoin for signing up. There you go. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go put in your email address there, hit get started. And when you do that, what'll happen, it'll pop up some information here about you got to come up with a password and that kind of stuff. Now, Arlene's going to go do this in the background because we don't need to know Arlene's passwords or anything like that. But what you want to do, and Arlene, if you will, just write down each page that Coinbase takes you to, just write down what that page is about. And what we'll do is we'll put that list of things in the description of this so that pretty much everybody knows step by step by step, and they know exactly what to expect when they get to that page, right? So like, for example, I'm currently living in Texas right now. And so I guess by my IP address, it realizes where I am or something. When you do this, it will do the same thing. It will probably recognize where you are. But when you do that, there's a couple of different things that are going to happen. After you set up a passcode, a lot of times when you're opening up an account on an exchange, right, or all coins, they're stored in what's called a wallet, right? We keep our money in a wallet. Well, cryptocurrency is kind of taking on that same kind of concept. And they're saying, hey, once you buy this coin, let's just use Bitcoin as an example. You can use anything, but Bitcoin is probably the safer of the cryptocurrencies at the moment, because it's out of all the cryptocurrency market, it's 60% plus of all the capital that's out there, right, is in Bitcoin. And so you have a little bit more stability as well as security, right? And so let's just, for example, today, let's talk about Bitcoin. And let's say you're going to go get signed up and get some Bitcoin. Well, when you do that, it's going to then put it into a wallet so that it's stored in your account, so to speak, right? Well, when you're on one of these exchanges, it's an exchange's wallet, right? Then what we can do is we can have the conversation of, well, what if I don't want it on the exchange's wallet? What if I want to put it on my own wallet, right? Maybe it's a soft wallet, which means it's a piece of software, right? And there's a lot of different types of soft wallets that we can talk about. and I'll try to put some examples in the description as well, where you can move your Bitcoin from their wallet over to your wallet, right? This is instead of keeping it in the bank, so to speak, meaning Coinbase, we're going to change it and put it in our bank, which would be like in our own personal wallet, under our mattress, in our own safe at home, that kind of thing, right? I have control and no one else can touch it, that kind of concept. And we're going to talk about the importance of controlling your own crypto for the long haul, right? But when you're setting this up, there's a couple of things I want to point out. One of which is once you set up a Coinbase account, it's probably going to ask you for two things. One of the things is once you create the account, it will tell you a seed phrase. A seed phrase is simply a 12 to maybe 24 word phrase that essentially is your security password, right? So like when you're setting up this account, it's going to have an account number. That account number in crypto is called your private key, right? But only you're going to know this private key. That's the only thing that's going to matter. You're the only person who's going to have access to the private key. And then outside of the private key, what you use, if you need to go log into, say, another computer, you're not going to use your private key to log in because it's like, dozens of numbers long. Instead, what you're going to do is you have a unique phrase called a seed phrase that you can use to go pretty much anywhere you want, log into any computer, any exchange, whatever, or for example, Coinbase, you go to Coinbase, type in that seed phrase, say this 12 words, and it will unlock your private key, will unlock your wallet, and it will give you access, right? So what you're going to do with this seed phrase, and it's 12 words really, so it'll be like car, balloon, money, desk, right? It'll be actual words. And you're going to write that down with a pen and paper or pencil and paper, not on a computer. So this is really important because from a security standpoint, what we want to do is we really want to do our best to protect our assets long haul. At the beginning, a lot of people say, well, I'm only putting in $5, $100, $1,000, whatever a small amount of money is to you. And so they don't value taking this extra. It's 2 extra steps. That's it. But the first step is writing this down on paper and storing it somewhere that's safe, right? Because over time, you might accumulate a lot more, or Bitcoin might go up in value enough to where now you have a substantial amount of money that you really feel like you need to protect. So you want to have taken that step at the beginning. So the first step after you set up the account, it'll tell you the words typically. And then what it's going to do, you're going to write what you're going to do is you're going to write down all those words on a piece of paper, one after another. Just do them like in a row or in an Excel sheet or something like that. Excel type sheet, right? Not on the computer. We want it off the internet is the key, right? This is another way to guard against any sort of hacking, right? If you write it on a piece of paper and you put it in a filing cabinet or a safe, who can hack you? Right? No one has access to that. This is kind of the concept behind why we write it down, right? It sounds silly, but again, it is going to be the most secure way to do it. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to go over and you're going to open up some sort of 2FA account. This is two-factor authentication. And really what this means is this is a layer of protection that allows you to be able to verify every time you do something. So for example, when I go to Coinbase and I log in, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go send me a message automatically before it shows me anything, any kind of account or anything else. I want it to automatically send me a text, and it'll look like this. And let me see if I could show you. So you see how like it just has, some numbers on it. It gives me 15, 10, 30 seconds. I think it's 30 seconds typically to type in that 6-digit code to verify that it's me. That way, if somebody else was to ever log into my account, I would get an alert saying, hey, please enter your two-factor authentication. Well, if you didn't ever, you know what I mean? If you're not trying to log in, for a fact, oh, someone's trying to access my account. This allows us to go in and change our passwords and all this kind of stuff before they ever have access to any of this stuff, right? So this is kind of the second step in what you're going to do. So as Arlene kind of goes through all that, she's going to set that up. She'll have her seed phrase that she's going to write down somewhere. She's going to have an authentication system set up, and then you're going to connect it to your bank account, right? So whoever you bank with, right, you're going to connect your bank account to Coinbase so that you can move money from Coinbase over to from your bank account over to Coinbase, be able to buy crypto and all this kind of stuff. But whenever you decide to sell it and turn it back into whatever currency you want to, you then can take that currency and put it back into your bank account and pay your bills or do whatever you want, right? And there's a lot of different other ways. A lot of people don't realize you can actually get debit cards that you can spend your crypto rather than moving it back to your bank account. There's several different ways to consider it. But first things first, let's make it simple. Let's go step by step. So we're going to open up a Coinbase account. We're going to connect it to the bank account, and then you're going to take those 2 security steps. All right, so now that you've got your Coinbase account set up, right? We've gone to settings. We've gone through down to setting up the 2-factor authentication. We downloaded the app Authy, like I showed you a moment ago. Now what we're doing is we're looking at Arlene's screen, and you'll see right below the Bitcoin price where it says earn free crypto with Coinbase earn. If you click on earn crypto, click on that earn crypto right there. Yeah, what it's going to do is it's going to actually take you to a place to where you can learn about other cryptocurrencies. So these are altcoins. A lot of these are newer ones. And simply by watching these videos and understanding, you'll watch the videos and they'll ask you like a multiple choice question that they just showed you in the video. And for answering those questions, you simply get free crypto, right? So if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll kind of get to some ones that are not a wait list. If you'll scroll down for a second and you'll see, for example, let's go XLM right there, Stellar Lumens, right? If you say view, it will allow you to watch some videos, obviously answer some questions, and then it will give you X number of stellar lumens and that kind of thing. So you've got to wait 24 hours if you're brand new, apparently. So there you go. So starting tomorrow, you can go and do this, right? But go ahead and go back to the home screen. I want to let's kind of do one more thing. So now what you're going to do is you're going to click the buy sell button in the very top. You don't need to do this right now, right? But what it'll do is it's with pretty much anything, there's KYC, know your customer, right? And so with Coinbase, it's probably going to ask you to verify your identity. A lot of times you have to take a picture of your driver's license. Sometimes you got to take a picture of your face next to your driver's license. Kind of just depends. I've even had some exchanges ask for like a water bill or something. So they just need to verify you are who you say you are, so that if you go and do something, I don't know, like a criminal would, then they can come find you, I guess. Okay, so now that Arlene has her Coinbase account set up, she's going to click on the left side. You see portfolio. And when she clicks that, it brings her to this page right here, which allows her to buy Bitcoin, right? She can simply set things up, or you could go click the buy sell button on the top right there and simply attach your bank account. And once you do, you can start to buy crypto. Once you've bought some crypto, then it's going to give you a QR code, right? And I'll put a picture of that on the screen. But that QR code is what you can use to scan with your phone and then be able to, send to somebody else. So for example, here in a little bit, I'm going to send some Bitcoin to Arlene, but she needs to send me her address first. Now the address is a public address. This is like me saying, hey, what bank do you bank at? And you say, oh, I bank at Bank of America. Okay, great. Well, I don't really know anything about your account or anything like that, right? I'm not asking for your account number or anything. So when you send me your public key, your address, that's simply allowing me to send money to your Bank of America, and the cryptography in the background knows that that is linked to your account, right? So when I send it to you, it allows this to stay private. That way I never have to know Arlene's passwords. I never need her account number. I never need anything. It's going to generate a public address for me every so often, actually. It'll keep changing. And when she sends it to me, I can simply send her Bitcoin and vice versa, right? And then it'll show up in her account, and we'll show you a screenshot of that. She can then sell that Bitcoin when it reaches a price that she would like to take profits from and move it back to her account. And now she's got money to do whatever she wants with, right? Or she could simply say, I think that Bitcoin is a store of value and I'm going to buy this Bitcoin for the long haul. And she's simply going to buy it and hold it. And we'll talk about if that's a strategy you want to do, you want to hold it, then I'll show you how we want to move it off of Coinbase to another place to really secure ourselves and protect that money, get it off the internet, basically put it into what's called cold storage or a cold wallet. Arlene is on her way. You've got your account started. We're going to see what we can do. In the next video, we'll kind of dig into more of what you're learning, as well as just some more details and some more content. We're going to get you up to speed, take you from zero to hero, and bring you into the crypto world.